isn't how this fight is meant to go down, like at all. It's very, very different in the books. There are some key players missing, there's some key context missing, so let's go ahead and put our Tolkien bracelet on and start talking about the books. So in the movies we see this. We see Sauron enter the battlefield armoured up to the nines with a massive mace, and he's wiping out 10 blokes with a single swing, and then he cracks Elendil across the chest and literally ends his life. Then he steps on the sword, breaking it, and then Isildur picks up his sword and uses it to cut the ring from Sauron's finger, and that's kind of how it goes, but not really. So the War of the Last Alliance of Elves and Men went on for literally more than a decade and was what ended the Second Age of Middle-earth with the defeat of Sauron in the Siege of the Dark Tower of Barad-dûr. And it featured this epic fight, one of the most epic fights in the history of Middle-earth, which is saying a lot because there have been some epic-ass fights. It was a crazy 2-on-1 fight, with one side being Sauron, the Lord of the Rings, wielding his one ring, being the most powerful being in Middle-earth at that point in time. And on the other side, you had High King Elendil the Tall of Gondor and Arnor, basically the King of Men, and High King Gil-Galad of the Noldor, basically the King of Elves. Elendil was one of the most powerful men to ever exist. He was a pure-blooded, faithful Numenorean who stood over 7 feet tall, and he wielded one of the greatest weapons in Middle-earth history. He wielded the sword Narsil, the red and white flame, that was forged by the legendary dwarven smith Telkar in the depths of time. While Gil-Galad was among one of the most powerful elves to ever exist, wielding a spear known as Aeglos, which loosely translates to Snowthorn. And they went to work against Sauron. Oh, and by the way, there were some other legends there as well. Elrond was there, Círdan was there, Isildur was there, Elendil's other son Anarion was slain by this point, so he wasn't there. But the point is, two of the most powerful beings wielding two of the most legendary weapons went up against the most powerful being, and they beat him. However, they did both perish in the fight. By the way, Sauron didn't have a mace. That was an invention for the movies, but it is said that he had fiery hot hands, so hot that they literally burnt Gil-Galad to death, while Elendil was thrown down and his sword broken beneath him. But Sauron went down too, he was finished. And then Isildur picked up his father's broken sword and cut the ring from Sauron's finger. So yes, Isildur did cut the ring from his finger, but it was off of an already defeated Sauron. Fingers crossed we get to see this battle in all of its glory in Rings of Power at some point.